Hi, I'm Doug Trudeau and welcome to the commercial kitchen that we're filming in today. I'm the chef and owner of Four Winds Indigenous Catering in Toronto, Ontario, and I serve Toronto, but I do a lot in Six Nations and up north in Manitoulin Island as well. So being an Indigenous chef here in Toronto, what's really unique is that there's not very many of us, and here I am reintroducing food that should have never been taken. And what's really cool is that with our Indigenous community in Toronto, we have such a wide base and a huge population, and with all the things going on with food in the world today and not eating properly and going back to our roots and really trying to eat with everything that is supplied to us naturally by Turtle Island is where I kind of come in, and I do my medicine infused Indigenous cuisine, and I help create food that not only tastes good but makes you feel good as well. We do work some pretty crazy hours, and that's just because of all the love of labor that does go into everything, and having a guest expectation of coming in and reminding of why they chose you to have their food. So my day would look like I'm dealing with a client. I'd be going over a menu, and then I'd be seeing more along the lines of how many people, would they want it individually boxed since I'm a caterer, or would they like it more along the lines they feed themselves. So my day in a day starts with communication, followed up by an agreement, invoices will be sent out, and then food production would be happening. On my off days, when I'm not cooking or catering, I'm actually more developing in the woods, and I'm out learning about plants, I'm learning about medicines, and I'm always trying to learn, and I'm always trying to take it to the next level as well. I studied through the schooling systems. I went to all the apprenticeships. Now what I do is I learn from elders. I find that my going back to my roots and trying to find out the ways of how it was, because people were less sick back then, and the way we ate was a very special, harmonious way, because food today is too accessible and there's too much waste. A typical pathway for a student to become a chef is a long journey. I always say you have to start at the bottom, and being a good dishwasher makes you a good prep. Becoming a good prep cook, you become a good line cook. After a good line cook, you become a good supervisor. After a good supervisor, they might give you a small portfolio, or you're running chemicals through a dishwasher. So it's a long, grueling journey, but learn from the bottom up, not the top down, and I find that you'd have a lot more success, going that route and starting that way, and you'd have a lot more appreciation at the end of it as well. STEM really comes alive for me as a business guy. I need to know my financials. I need to know how much I'm spending on the product, how much I'm charging my clients, and how much is left for me at the end. And then also with that, the technology that I would use is time and temperature to double check to make sure that I am safe so I don't hurt anybody as well. For soft skills, I definitely think communication is the biggest one. We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and I think we forgot that because we don't listen as much as we talk. But communication is the biggest thing. Dealing with the clients, I need to know what they want, and I don't have time to waste their time, and vice versa. And definitely trying to make sure that we're crystal clear and that I don't drop the ball, or there's something that's not to their level of what they wanted. I love what I do. Since being an entrepreneur and doing my own thing, I can't believe how much freedom I have gotten over the years, because as a restaurant chef, I was working almost 75 hours a week. And I'd come home and then try to be a family man after that. But now that I've started my own thing, my hours are completely flexible. Yeah, my biggest advice is never stop learning. I truly believe that we stop learning when it's time to say goodbye to everybody, and that's our time going back to the earth. But we spend so much time talking instead of listening. Listening leads to learning, and once you learn something, you get it. And everyone learns on a different level. Some have to learn a hard way, but never stop learning. I don't care how good you are. There's always somebody that's going to be more hungry or who wants to learn. So skill takes you so far, but definitely learning and putting in that extra work is what makes it to the next level.